Hey, this is Notser, and we're talking 2018. Game in the background is myself in the Mogami, the Tier 8 Japanese cruiser. We're on the map hotspot. It's a 14-month-old game, but I want to talk about the closeout of 2018. The British DDTs really got me thinking about all the content that's coming, and I want to discuss it. So obviously, 7.6 is coming. Probably this Wednesday, if not next Wednesday, and Thursday for everyone else. And it's going to bring the American light cruisers, and it's going to be the conclusion of the American campaign that started with 7.5 and the heavy cruisers being moved around. I really enjoyed it. I think the light cruisers are going to be fantastic. I know they will be frustrating for battleships, and part of the introduction of the light cruisers, it's going to bring even more magnification on the radar aspects of the game, the HE aspects of the game, just the multiplicative design that always ends up being sort of unhealthy for the game. And this is another aspect that I really hope that they address this year. Obviously, content's great. French battleships, we've got a French campaign with that, with a unique commander. We have the American cruiser line, heavy and light. We've got Admiral Halsey related to that. They just showed off the British DDs. British DDs are going to be coming at some point in the near future. I wouldn't be surprised if you started seeing British DDs being tested in 7.6 or 7.7. 7.6 will also have the near tier 9 and the near tier 10 for the Akizuki branch of the Japanese destroyers, and that'll be fun to play. But what else? Well, the Italian cruisers sound like they're going to be the last line introduced for 2018. So we'll have the French battleships, the British DDs, we have the Italian cruiser line. And it was, it's a toss-up between the Italian cruiser and the Italian battleships. And I think they, start with the cruisers, then work on. I think we should absolutely expect the Italian battleships to come out at some point in 2019. Maybe I wouldn't say they would be the next one, but they'll be maybe mid-year 2019. But what else, Notser? Well, aircraft carriers, right? Aircraft carrier. It was teased in April to community contributors when they went to the summit. I saw firsthand what the gameplay looks like, and it was a prototype. And the prototype was probably built by one or two people. They need to actually go and build out the system. That usually takes 6 months. And when they spend 6 months designing it, they're probably going to spend time testing it. So I would guess that 3 months testing between going in, implementing your changes, and coming out and doing it again. So 9 months from the time of April. Well, that's basically going into 2019. And that's when I think we're really going to see the aircraft carriers in their full glory. Now, they might show off a token. Maybe they'll have like something come out just before 2018 is over. But I would not hold my breath for the aircraft carrier to be fully released in its new rework by the end of 2018. I just don't think they've shown enough of it with enough time to really feel comfortable. Like, if they showed it today, we probably shouldn't see it until September, October, like fully implemented. That's a really long time from now. And every day, every month it ticks off, it pushes it further and further to December, January. So I would guess that they want to get it right, and it's not going to make 2018. And that's just the way it works. It would be better that they don't touch it at all and do a huge overhaul, or these little tweaks here and have it in a state where it's completely irrelevant, and it almost is completely irrelevant. But regardless, I wouldn't hope for 2018 for the aircraft carrier. I just don't think it's going to happen. But what else can happen? We've got the announcement that they're working on a console version of the game, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And I must say that I knew about this in April. I quite literally walked through their console testing room. I saw a ton of dev kits for the Xbox and the PlayStation 4. And along the same line, they admitted that, the current aircraft carrier design just doesn't work for a console. So that would have to change for their console implementation. And I think that's going along with the rework. So They don't want to be out of closed beta. At least I don't think they want to be out of closed beta with the console version until the carrier rework has gone live on the PC. And then, obviously, they can just implement it over with the console version. The console version, I'm going to guess, for the first couple months will not have aircraft carriers that will participate. It'll just be DDs, battleships, and cruisers. And I think that'll be fine until they implement it. And yeah. Oh, you can control it with a console. Yes, you can control it with a console controller. Of course you can, right? I mean, like, come on. RTSs are always been, terrible for a console, so I'm not surprised by that at all. But along that, wargaming, we really need to have a talk about putting in some system that protects from a single meta just dominating. Over the course of this game's life, every single 3 to 6 months, we've just rotated what is the most powerful broken shit that everyone does and spams, and it's annoying. I'm really tired of it. We had stealth firing, we had smoke, we had everything that under the sun. It just feels like HE spam with the British battleships coming out, and everyone hate that. And guess what? If you hated the British battleships and the release and all the HE spam, you are not going to enjoy the light cruisers of the Americans. You are going to be burning a lot in 7.6, so just be prepared. But, 7.6 comes out like cruisers. 7.7 will probably, maybe not 7.7, but 7.8 will get the Tier 9 and the Tier 10 for the Japanese DDs. Then maybe 7.9 is the British. I assume that the British DDs will be available for testing in 7.6. Maybe not to me, maybe 7.7 for testing. But we have that, the Italian cruiser. We're going to have an Italian port. We know this because they announced in the French port video that they had built an Italian one for a Mediterranean campaign where, the French are going up against the Italians. So all that is, scheduled, but balance-wise for the game, we need to try, I think, implement something that protects from diminishing returns. Like, there needs to be diminishing returns on HE fires, on radar stacking, on anything that is just completely broken in multiple numbers. 1 Conqueror is not bad. 3 Conquerors suck. You will always be on fire, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, 3 Conquerors are better than 1 Conqueror, 1 Montana, and 1 Kurosakua first for long-range gunnery, because the HE stacking mechanics. So I just think they're going to nerf the arsenal, the super container radar module that increases the duration just in time for the arsenal to be released, but every single person that has radar will have this module equipped. You still are going to have, 50-second radars from Des Moines, and it'll be so annoying. I've been in games where I've been radar spotted pretty much for 10 minutes, and that just slows down the DDs playing, and it discourages DDs from playing, and that is really unhealthy for the game. When I play with 1 DD or 2 DDs, the game is terrible. Nobody goes for the objectives, everyone's stagnant, everyone's just hoping that they don't die, and they're just waiting. And with all the radar ships, even with DDs, the game is drawn out artificially. This should be the last direction that the game should be going. It shouldn't be going into longer games, it should be going to shorter games. So we need to get away from, oh yeah, radar, there's a safe spotting island at every single map and every single objective pretty much, and everyone knows that. Wargaming, we need to fix this issue, and it needs to be a long-term solution for every possibility, not just, doing a little band-aid action with the radar module or the radar system. It needs to be a global change, in my opinion. Obviously, the aircraft carrier rework will introduce new mechanics into the game. It's going to be global, like every single AA ship's getting touched. Every single AA system is getting touched for all the ships. Commander skills, obviously the aircraft carriers themselves, a ton of changes. And I can't wait to experience all that. Can't wait to check out the console version of the game. I was also considering, I can play this game with the Steam controller, and I just wanted to maybe share a game in it. I did this like a long time ago, and I don't even know if I announced it. But it just to see how functioning the game feels with a controller. I have a good idea, but I was just curious if that's some sort of content that you would be interested in seeing. So I hope this was interesting for all of you. I'm certainly excited for the end of 2018. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming. I hope that the right changes are made, though. And I'm sure you hope so, too. Let me know what you think. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.